Hey everybody, Matt Barton here with this week's Broker Minute or Two. I hope your week is going well. Hey, we are having some great training this week. Hopefully you've been able to attend. If you haven't been able to attend, you're going to want to check it out on the Training Vault. Not only the personality test and behavioral analysis that Ashley has been training on, that all of you are able to take advantage of. If you don't know where to do that, there's been multiple messages. Check with your local office manager and get your assessment done. And also the Bold Trail training, Max Tech training that Aaron Menard has flown in and done is fabulous. And it's going to be, I'm not overstating this, it's going to be critical to your success in the future. So make sure you're gaining an understanding of what's being covered there. All right, having said that, I wanted to cover quickly just some information. This is some of the recent data from the MLS, and not to make your eyes glaze over because there's graphs on screen, especially if your personality type isn't conducive to that. But as Ashley pointed out in her training, some personality types don't really assimilate data well, so be able to take the information that we know as professionals and put it in the context of how this is going to better their life and what's going to mean for their family, et cetera, et cetera. But here's the data, however you choose to package that up. So the green line is the amount of inventory, the blue line is the median sales price, and the black line is the number of homes sold. And I just put 3 blurbs here. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but when we get asked that question, hey Matt, how's the market doing? And if you're talking to a buyer or a seller, here are at least the beginnings of some things you might want to talk to them about. So the green line, if you notice, we are at our highest point in inventory in 3 years. Of course, we had the anomaly year after COVID and a real spike in inventory. We're the highest we've been in 3 years on inventory. Good information when you're listing a property and trying to set pricing. Second one is from a year ago, actually Q2 2024, we've had a 1.38% price appreciation. So again, helpful both for buyers and for sellers, depending on how you package that information up, but helping them understand that we have not hockey sticked on pricing in quite some time. And then the last one is when you're from 1 year ago, there's actually been an increase in homes sold by a little over 7%. So hopefully that is good information. And then if we back that, if you look at the median sold price of 513, that was at the end of June. If you go to your MLS page and go down to your widget on market statistics and make sure you drop this down to show median sales price versus average, you can see that we're actually up to 520,000. So pricing is starting to go up, right? And I think we'll probably see some of that continue as the cost of money decreases and is more attractive and getting more buyers in the market. So there's the market update. All right. The portion I want to talk about, I was talking with our broker down in our Phoenix office, Phoenix, Arizona, Janice, great lady, and we were talking about some issues that different agents have had in her market and some that we've had here. And I was thinking of a metaphor of how to make this understandable for agents when we come up against issues. And we had a little bit of consternation why a certain agent down in her market waited until so much water was under the bridge and then decided to involve her as the broker to potentially resolve the challenge, the conflict. And the metaphor I came up with, because a family member recently had some surgery, was if you look at your medical insurance, right, as an example, this is the metaphor. The cost of coordinating, planning, proactively going and taking care of a surgery, for instance, in a same-day surgery clinic, when you look at your insurance, the cost for doing that is almost always a lower cost than if you wait until something becomes a crisis and at 1 a.m. you have to go to the emergency room and admit yourself and have the surgery. The cost is almost always significantly higher for that. And so it does kind of translate to the real estate business. We are in the business of helping people, and almost without fail, there are going to be challenges, if not problems, if not things to resolve. And so um, sometimes I think we just wish that they'll go away, and so we delay doing something about them, and that kind of puts us more in the category of the emergency room. And it gets even worse when the issue is significant or has significant consequences, and we wish even harder that it would go away, and so we don't reach out to our local broker or the principal broker and see what the possible avenues are at that early juncture to get resolution. We just keep hoping, hoping, hoping that it will get better, and then it's 1 in the morning and it gets to a crisis phase, and we have to go to the emergency room. And so I want to use just a simple example to demonstrate to you guys, and hopefully you understand we really are here as a resource. We do want you to be successful. We want to help to the degree that we can. Not every problem has a slick resolution, but there's usually more than one or two options that we could be considering. And sometimes when you just try and handle it all yourself, you kind of get stuck with your own thinking, which sometimes doesn't um, allow you to explore all the avenues and the opportunities. So communicate early and allow us to help you help your transaction and your clients. With that, I hope you guys have a great week. Appreciate all you do and all the hard work you put in, and we'll talk soon.